Enterprise City, Cayman's innovation hub. Discover your opportunity at enterprisecayman.ky. And Kirk Home Center. They've got a great deal in store for you.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local environment. This is where we address the topics that matter. Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, Cayman. Welcome to The Buzz. It's a very nice Thursday, August 6th out there. And just a reminder, only a couple more weeks of a nice, easy ride into work or wherever you're going this morning, because just in a couple weeks, those roads will be filled with everybody going back to school. And we know what that's like. For me, I have a entire 30-second drive into work, so I'm very happy about that. But for the rest of you, enjoy the quiet times on the road right now, at least for the next couple of weeks, right? So in this segment of The Buzz, I'm very happy to welcome, I got a few guests in here today, but one of them in particular I'm happy to have back because I think I've interviewed her a couple times. I had a panel discussion with her at the Cayman Islands Fashion Week Summit that they had in, I think it was April. And she's just somebody that I think is doing a lot of great things in Cayman, especially from a youth perspective. And I'm very happy to welcome her back in studio today. And I'm talking about Zara Majid. Yes, Zara, you got that. You got a nice little intro right there.
Thank you.
She is the president for Interact Central. And joining her as well is Sivaanaa Dcunha. She's the public image director for Interact Central. And also joined is Michael Pope, who's the deputy director for Youth Services Rotary Central. Now, here in Cayman, as I said, there is a group of young leaders, but these ones here, they're calling for stronger environmental protection and climate action. So this weekend, the Rotary Central Cayman Islands' Interact Club will host EcoFest 2026, the first one ever. And it's dedicated to climate and environment. It's a dedicated climate and environmental festival. So here to tell us more from Interact Club is Zara Majid and Sivaanaa Dcunha.
Thanks.
So good morning to my guests. How are you all doing?
Good morning. Good. Thank you so much for having us.
No problem, Zara. You know, I've had you on before, so it's good to have you back. I like to see your organization behind things and just you taking the lead. I think it's an awesome thing, and it's a good example for other people as well. So nice to have you back. And now you're involved with Interact. Maybe you were the whole time, but now I know you to be involved with Interact and president. So that's a pretty good title to have as a young person. So let's start with getting a bit of an introduction to what Interact Club is itself, because I'm just kind of hearing about y'all. So I'd like to get a bit of a background on who your members are. What kind of community service work do you do?
So last year we were tasked of creating an Interact Club. And well, again, the first person who came to my head was Zara, because Zara is ahead of almost everything school-wise. So and from there, Zara just run with the vision. And they created so it was a space for teenagers to come up with ideas, to change the environment, to change different stuff, and to be part of the Rotary Club. So so that's how the Interact Club came about. It was really for a teenage group of people who's willing to make a change in Cayman Islands.
So did you say it was just last year?
Yes, actually.
Wow. Okay, because I feel, I know of, is it Rotaract? Right? Rotaract Club?
Yeah.
So which is...
So Rotaract is like the young adults.
Yes.
Like the 20s and stuff. And Interact is like the more teenage, like from 12 to 18. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What made you guys drive to do a club for 12 to 18-year-olds? Which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So in the Rotary hierarchy, I think Rotary internationally does have like Interact Club.
Okay.
So we didn't have any. We have in Cayman, but we decided to just do another one, and then we did it community-wise. So which means that it's not privy to one school. Mm-hmm. It's privy to any school. Anybody from public to private could just come and have a space where they could have fun whilst helping the environment and helping other people as well.
I think it's such a good idea because a lot of the time when you're in elementary school or high school, you hear of these service clubs, but you don't really know the significance of the work that they do.
Yes, that's true.
And I mean, for me, it wasn't until later in my adulthood, so I won't embarrass myself by admitting that any further. But I love that idea because you're already you're bringing the youth into community work and making them understand really the importance of it.
Yes,
It's a
that's
great
right.
thing. So for you ladies here, so for Zara and for Sivaanaa, how did you end up joining Interact? I mean, I know Michael said he roped you in, Zara. But when you were first approached about it, what were your thoughts?
Honestly, seeing the Rotary Central Club, my parents actually are Rotarians, and they
Okay.
got involved with the Rotary Central Club. So I've always been coming to helping out with the bus building of the bus shelters, and then I would go to different events with them. And then over time, I really loved Rotary Central. But the thing is, I can't join Rotaract because I'm younger, of course, and then I can't join Rotary Central because I'm still younger. So I was really excited when Mr. Michael actually came and was like, "Hey, we want you to be president for the first Interact Club on Island." And I was like, wait, this is a great opportunity because normally, as you know me, I'm into the environment, that's kind of my niche, right? But then seeing that I was given this platform to not only go into environmental issues, but also expound into all of the SDGs. So looking into like mental health and public health, and as well as helping with education, all of those sectors was extremely fulfilling. I was so happy when I was given this role.
I love that. That's awesome. What about you, Sivaanaa?
Well, for me, I actually found out because I've done the science fair, which is a Rotary event, and then I was on Compass TV, and Miss Ali Spears, who is another Rotarian, she actually told me about this, and I thought it was a great idea to become involved because I think Cayman has given me so much, and I'd love to give back. And then I emailed the email, and I found out it was Zara, who I knew from chess, and I was like, oh, would you look at that? I actually already know some people here.
That's pretty cool. I'd say you two are chess players as well.
Yeah.
Very, very well-rounded young people here. I love it. All right, let's talk about EcoFest. Where did the idea of EcoFest come from?
Actually, the EcoFest started 2 years ago in 2024. So I was part of the CIS DART inter-school challenge for the Sustainable Development Goals Challenge. And it was there that our CIS team was tasked with figuring out an idea to actually tackle one of the Sustainable Development Goals. So that's when I came up with the idea for EcoFest. Because, coming to the Cayman Islands, I was deeply moved by the environmental challenges that, our islands typically face compared to other countries around the world. And seeing that in the Cayman Islands itself, just recently for our climate change public risk assessment, 80% of people in the Cayman Islands, they feel that they want more information about our climate and our environment, and that they take a personal stake in caring about it. But 64% of respondents said that they don't feel prepared at all. Like, they don't have any information to actually take action to actually help our environment. So then that's how the idea kind of evolved. Unfortunately, we didn't actually win the grant that year. Our idea didn't seem that profitable at the time, but it's okay. But then it wasn't until last year that when I became a youth parliamentarian, I met Honorable Miss Catherine Evans Wilkes. And she was the one, when I told her the idea, I don't even know what spurred me to tell her. I just was like, hey, I have this idea. Do you think it might be something the Cayman Islands would benefit from? And she upfront offered $2,000 to help with the event. So at that time, I still had a few money, but I didn't have any other people willing and able to help me. I didn't have the funds, and then I didn't have a mentorship to actually say, how do we book the ARC? How do we get insurance? All of these finer details that I, as a young person, could not figure out on my own. So when Mr. Michael actually approached me to be president for Interact, I was like, wait, I finally have funding, I finally have a group of people, I finally have mentorship because they've also run the science fair and known how to do all of those things. It's like, this is a perfect idea to debut Interact Central. So
Okay.
that's how it's evolved.
I like it. So the theme is our islands, our climate, our future. What does the theme mean to you as young people who will inherit the consequences of environmental decisions being made today?
Well, I think the great thing is, even though it's a short theme, it encompasses so much because, Cayman is an island that so many of us, but in the grand scheme of things, so few of us call home. And it really gives us hope for the future while also calling us to act. And, our climate is something that it does happen over time. And this is, all our small actions, they add up, and it really helps us think of the bigger picture, but also the small things we can do today to make a difference.
I think that's so important because we'll always look at a big picture, and this could come to any goal that we have in our life, and sometimes feel a little daunted or intimidated by what the ultimate goal is, right? And we often don't try to break it down into the small actionable steps to achieve. And when we do, when we break things down, it becomes a lot easier for us to understand how we're going to achieve it, right? And it's the same thing with this, because it might seem like, wow, it's a really big thing. How are we going to get our beaches back? You know, in some areas, it might seem like that's impossible to do, but it's just small steps at a time and just the action, not just thinking about it. So I think it's really good that you're helping take these first step actions to help other people realize what their first steps could be at the same time. I think it's a great thing. Now, this is being described as the first dedicated climate and environmental festival. So what can people expect when they come to the Arc on Saturday?
So we have 41 plus different businesses from across the Cayman Islands who have a stake in the environment. So whether that's like Sustainable Cayman, National Trust, so many NGOs, youth groups, and different organizations all coming together to think of a crossbreed between a career fair and the Pink Ladies Bazaar. It's something very similar. So we don't want anyone to think that it's just lectures or it's just something. It's very boring. It's not, trust me. The idea of it is to have a fun event where family members can come, they bring their kids, there's games in the back. Actually, the Cayman Islands Chess Federation is coming to showcase, it's a connection with sustainability and long-term thinking. But it's an idea where we will have guest speakers coming in to showcase their ideas and how they have grown in the environmental space. As well, it gives an opportunity for the community to directly talk to these community leaders in this space, as well as get to join all of these environmental organizations. One of the biggest problems in Cayman is the fact that we have so many environmental organizations working towards so many different problems. But the biggest thing is that a lot of these people don't know about it. Like, only recently I found out about Coral Cartel, and I was very amazed by how much they had grown in the past, month or so. And I'd never heard about them
Coral
before.
Cartel.
Coral Cartel,
I have not heard of them either, yeah.
Yes, well, you should come to EcoFest. You'll learn more. But it's a great opportunity for people to see how not only they can take actions for themselves personally as a human being, but join other organizations to take bigger goals, like whether it's attending beach cleans or rallying for, helping to ban single-use plastics in the Cayman Islands. It's all working towards one goal of uniting the community.
I'm not on the single ban plastic.
No.
That's all right, though. The other, beach cleanups, yes. Recycling, absolutely. Yeah. I would say when I moved here, I think I was so ingrained in recycling back in Vancouver. So when I moved here and it just wasn't here. I know there's an attempt, but it was really hard for me to understand that, and then that I didn't have to separate my garbage in a certain way. And I was so used to doing that I'm like, oh, and now thinking when, hopefully that becomes something that we do really and truly implement in homes, because in Canada, I think it is you get in trouble if you don't you'll get a fine now if you don't properly separate your waste, right, for recycling purposes. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get back into that habit again. So it's interesting. It's interesting seeing what is done here and what can still be done here. I want to ask about your speakers, because I know that you have some speakers. If you can tell us who your speakers are and a little bit about what their topics may be, if you know.
Yes, so we have 3 headlining speakers that we're so excited to hear from. So one of them is Miss Tahiti Seymour, who was a previous Miss Universe Cayman, and she's going to be talking about food insecurity and what it means on an island like ours and what we can do about it. And then we're also going to hear from the Honorable Wayne Panton, who will be talking on behalf of the ministry and about their role in sustainability. And then we also have Miss Kathy Childs from the National Trust, who will be talking about their work in the blue iguana conservation and also talking more about EcoFest and why it's important.
Okay, and I really like the fact that you have chosen to have Miss Tahiti Seymour as one of your speakers, because she was Miss Cayman Islands, or Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2025. And so she just recently, passed the crown on just a few weeks ago. And so much of her platform was about food security. Is there anything about her as young people that you see in her that you'd like to emulate per se, because she is a leader?
Personally, I really loved her campaigning. I grew up knowing her actually because my mom is friends with her, so that's how I was able to get her contact. Actually, it was an amazing opportunity. And when we realized that, you know, in the Cayman Islands, one of the biggest challenges is our food security. We import over 97% of all goods in the Cayman Islands. And quite frankly, her campaign about giving local farmers a chance and actually saying like, hey, and growing that industry was really important for us as EcoFest, the organizing committee, to figure out like who do we want to actually represent our community at this event.
Yeah, and I love that because she is somebody younger and somebody that, again, younger audience will also resonate with. So I love the fact that when you did choose your speaking guests, that there was a range in age and experience, because it's important for who your audience is, right? So I love that fact, and it gives her a bigger platform as well to speak on food security. All right, we're going to go to our commercial break right now, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes to talk more about EcoFest 2026.
Not sure where you fit in tech? Pathways in Tech by Enterprise Cayman can help you find your route. Whether you're interested in project management, computer support, or network systems, this program helps individuals explore practical, career-focused skills for real opportunities in Cayman's tech and innovation sector. It's beginner-friendly, job-relevant, special economic zone connected, and scholarships are available. Your path in tech starts here. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to apply today.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future,
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance,
or protecting your family's household investment.
from our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Dear Grand Cayman, we write to you from the future. If you look to your right, or maybe your left, you will notice a huge landmark. Mount Trashmore? We write from the future to beg you to stop. Please help us avoid catastrophe. You must stop by the Interact EcoFest to avoid dire consequences. Saturday, August 8th, 2 to 5:30 p.m. at the Arc. There, you will find everything that we know of at the moment to guide you. Don't forget this date, August 8th, 2 p.m. at the Arc. The future of Grand Cayman depends on you. This message was entrusted and delivered in good faith by the Interact Central Cayman Islands, sponsored by Rotary Central Cayman Islands. Let the youth be your guide.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and we are talking about EcoFest 2026. And in the studio with me, I have it's the Rotary Central Interact Clubs, right? Did I get that right, Michael? Yes. So president of Interact Club is Zara Majid, and the public image director, we have Sivaanaa Dcunha, and then we have Michael Pope, who's in charge of the youth services division for the deputy director.
Yes.
My bad. In charge of the youth services division for Rotary Central. So we were hearing about EcoFest, and I want to know from you what your most important environmental concerns are for the Cayman Islands. Well, both of you both can tell me.
Well, as you know, I've always been involved with sustainability. You know, being a student leader for Protect Our Future, I've taken a lot of pride in knowing that I kind of have my goals set out for what I want to see change in the Cayman Islands. So personally for me, the two biggest issues is honestly Mount Trashmore and seeing that there's so much pollution on our islands and that still so many people don't have enough information to know that how much each person is contributing actually amounts to a lot. Like Mount Trashmore is supposed to be reach capacity by 2030, and that's may not seem like a big deal, but then we'd have to continuously start shipping everything off the island, which we might be shipping it to Kenya, another disadvantaged community. And honestly, besides the pollution side of our islands, it's our vulnerability to the climate change and seeing coral bleaching happening and our erosion on our islands and marine heat waves. So many problems that have evolved from the Cayman Islands carbon footprint might be a little bit negligible in the broader scale of the world, but having these consequences, seeing it directly on our islands is, frankly, for the young people of Cayman, a big deal.
I didn't realize by 2030 that the dump, Mount Trashmore, as people affectionately call it, would be reaching capacity. That's just a few years away, 3.5 years away. All right, what about you, Sivaanaa? What's your most concerning environmental challenge?
I mean, obviously, I'd like to echo whatever Zara said because that is very true. I think one big thing is most people just don't know. It's not that they're purposely avoiding it. It's just they really don't know. It's not that there's a ton of EcoFest is a place where all these organizations are going to be so people can learn more about it. But I think it's not gotten to the point in Cayman where, there's a thick cloud of smog over us and we can't see. So people might not realize how bad it actually is. And at EcoFest, they'll be able to meet, various booths and organizations to learn more about it. And so hopefully they can be part of the solution.
Okay, well, hope so. That's the whole aim, is
Yes.
trying to help people take those small, actionable steps in figuring out how we can be better to our environment, right? So how do you think you've made this festival engaging for children, for the youth, for teenagers, families, adults?
So besides having our speakers, of course, we do have it because of the layout that we have. People will be moving in and out throughout the booths, throughout the entire event. So, and there's also vendors there. We do have food trucks outside. There are games there, like we have Connect 4. The Cayman Islands Chess Federation is coming for a few games. We do have puppies outside from the Cayman Islands Humane Society. We are so happy for that. And then, of course, we have our raffle. So we have been so many raffle prizes donated by so many different companies across the island. And we do have 3 raffle segments announcements with several prizes that we will be giving out. And bear in mind, this event is free. So you are coming and you're getting a free chance to enter this raffle. So hopefully it'll be as engaging as we think of it in our minds.
It's free and it's on Saturday, right?
Yes.
2:30 to 5, is it?
Yes.
At the time? Okay, all right. And that's at the Ark in Camana Bay. So a lot of parking. As you mentioned, free. There's going to be food, vendors. Is there going to be any sort of other entertainments?
We do have a DJ, but
Okay,
because
cool.
the thing is, what we realize is for several other events across the Cayman Islands, especially held in the Ark, it gets a little bit muddled when you have a few other performances. While that is a great thing, because of we really want people to hear about these booths and organizations. We want the community to come together and meet each other and network. We wanted to make sure that whatever platform we had for them, they had enough time to actually network and talk to each other.
And engage and learn. Yes, I understand that. Okay. What has it been like for you in organizing this? Because you're young people, you're teenagers trying to do this, right? I know that you've had the support and the network with Rotary Central, which is great. And as you said, Zara, in the beginning, you don't know how to book the Ark. You weren't sure what to do. So what have you really learned in this process of the event organization part of it? Because I know there has to be a lot.
Well, personally, because I'm president for Interact, I've kind of spearheaded the entire organization for the event, and especially because I came up with the idea 2 years ago, I had to tell everyone what it was like, kind of project my vision of what I wanted the event to come out to be. The biggest challenge, though, is that being a teenager, talking to all these businesses, all these companies, NGOs, other youth groups, people end up thinking that, this is a kid, I can brush her off for 2 weeks and then get back to her. And I'm just honestly, I understand that you think that youth might not be able to lead in this moment, but we are the future leaders of tomorrow. And giving us this exposure now is what's going to help us build the next generation. So for a few businesses out there, it was very hard to communicate with them and to actually get things different organized. And then thinking out all those little details. Like we recently rented plants for our event, and then thinking that, wait, we need to get newspaper to put underneath it so that this arc doesn't get scratched. So it's all of those finer details, as well as thinking about the teamwork aspect of our club as well, because it's a summer. So because it's a community club, you know, so many people went off island. So Sivaanaa is actually a newly admitted member. When a bunch of my board went off island, I was like, I can't handle this by myself.
No.
And mind you, because I went to Yale for past 2 weeks for a summer program, I was at Yale. We had $0 in sponsorship. And then when I came back, we had around $17,000 in sponsorship. So we were very grateful for that.
So how did the sponsorship work? Did you have a sponsorship team? Did Rotary Central help you with that?
No, it was just me emailing people and then calling and following up, because I know a lot of people in the environmental space. I was just like, hey, I reached out. I was like, would you be interested in helping out with this event? Like, please, we understand it's okay if you can't sponsor, but maybe donate a raffle prize. So we were very happy when it kind of pulled through. So that's how we ended up inducting quite a few new members to our club more recently to help with the actual organization of the event.
I love that. I think that's awesome. And what I think is so important that you shared with us is that as a young person, you were reaching out to so many businesses, so many adults looking for support, and they just brushed you away because you're young.
Yeah.
And she can't possibly know what she's doing. And this might be a waste of time, but they don't know who you are and what you are capable of and what you have been doing. And I love that you persevered and that in the end, you ended up getting what you were looking for, at least the majority of the time, right? Not everybody can help out. But I love that you did that. And I love that it just taught you know to keep going. But just to know, man, that some people are like, we don't have time for you. You're the youth. We don't have time for you. But then there's always some sort of a championing the youth in other spaces, right? So I think that's a really real thing to say, and that's people need to hear, because you do have the ideas, you are making things happen, and I think I heard the newly crowned Miss Universe Cayman Islands, Juliana Myers, say, your age doesn't determine your abilities and what you can do. And I was like, that was a great thing to say. So you're perfect examples of that. Your age does not determine your abilities of what you can do. I'd love to hear about the Yale program that you did, but that's a totally different conversation right now. Okay, so we know that EcoFest is on Saturday. What do you hope that people will do a little bit differently coming out of EcoFest?
I mean, I think, there's so many different organizations. Everyone can find something for them, because what works for me might not work for you, and it might not work for Zara. So everyone, since there's such a wide range, ranging from, the organizations that are pretty well known to more community-based organizations, I think if everyone just does one thing that, it might just be a small change, like maybe changing to eco-friendly laundry detergent, then it can really make a huge impact, and we'll see it across the island. And even if we don't, that you're contributing, and maybe you'll get to know, like maybe you'll join Plastic Free Cayman and do beach cleanups, or you'll find people that are actually interested in what you are interested in.
I love that. Yeah, okay, I like that. Okay. We only got about a minute left, so if there's any last minute details you want the people to know, any sponsor shout-outs, now's the time to do it.
Yes, we would greatly thank our sponsors. So our platinum sponsor this year is DART, who sponsored the entire arc. And then our gold sponsors, the Ministry, of course, the Cayman Islands Turtle Center, and CUC, thank you so much. And then our silver sponsor is Green Tech Solar Cayman Islands. And if you want to find any more information about the event, please follow us on our Instagram at Rotary_Central_interact.
Awesome. And I just want to be clear, it's the Ministry of Health, Environment, and Sustainability,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me on The Buzz this morning.
Thank you so
much for having us. Best of luck for EcoFest this Saturday at the Arc, 2:30 to 5. It is free, everybody. It's free. It's going to be a great day. You're going to learn a little bit and connect with the community and learn how you can make this place just a little bit better, one step at a time. Yeah. Let's go to the 8 a.m. news, and then I'll be back. I'm going to be talking about the Segregated Insurance Fund. Yes. That is right, with the Department of Health and Regulatory Services. All right, we'll be back in about 12 to 15 minutes for that.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The murder trial of Devon Emmanuel Wright Jr. continues today in the Grand Court. Wright faces 1 count of murder and 1 count of abduction, denying charges of killing toddler Alisadie Powell in Cayman Brac and leaving her body on the shoreline to make it appear as if she drowned. Following 2 days of legal arguments, the jury is expected to hear any remaining evidence in the Crown's case before it hands it over to the defense. Wright has not anticipated to take the stand in his own defense. The trial is expected to soon hear closing submissions from counsel before the trial judge sums up the case. In other court news, a man has pled not guilty to 2 counts of common assault and 1 charge of threatening to kill. The allegations relate to incidents said to have occurred on Shedden Road in December 2025. Willem Joseph Phillips Moore denies assaulting a woman on 2 consecutive days. The chief magistrate scheduled the case management hearing for November 12th, with the trial set at a later date. In other news, EcoFest 2026 is this Saturday from 2 to 5:30 p.m. at the Ark in Camana Bay. Brought by the youth-led Rotary Central Interact Club, the festival is expected to deliver an interactive event focused on local conservation here in the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman's Tyler Stewart reports.
There's so many people who want to help. They just don't know about them. So that's how the idea of EcoFest actually came to light.
The EcoFest 2026 Cayman Islands inaugural Climate and Environmental Festival aims to raise environmental awareness to the ongoing effects toward our island's ecosystems through interactive displays and family-friendly entertainment focused on local conservation.
Our future generations can actually look back and say, hey, I played a role in protecting it and bringing forward this new perspective for our community.
The youth-led Rotary Central Interact Club introduced EcoFest in order to facilitate and better guide residents who see these environmental problems on island and are willing to participate in local conservation events such as Plastic-Free Cayman.
And then finally having a space to actually see it come to light, it's so fulfilling.
The festival will include interactive displays on coral bleaching and sea level rise, as well as sustainable businesses and games throughout the afternoon.
What they should expect is a lively festival. It's for all ages, it's for everyone, it's free.
With environmental challenges on the rise, EcoFest is bringing the community together to educate, entertain, and ensure the Cayman Islands is moving in the right direction for the years to come. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Tyler Stewart.
In regional news, in Jamaica, after negotiations between the government and unions representing public sector workers, an agreement has been reached on wages for 3 years through 2028. St. Patrice Ennis, president of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, told the Jamaica Gleaner on Wednesday that the unions have agreed to a one-off payment of 80,000 Jamaican dollars for the period of April 1st, 2025 through March 2026. Additionally, government has improved its wage offer from 7% over the 3-year period to 10%. This means public sector workers will get a 5% increase next year and another 5% in 2028. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. Ukrainian drone attacks have shrouded the Russian city of Yaroslavl in black smoke. President Zelensky said the attack on one of Russia's biggest oil refineries there was aimed at cutting Russia's oil revenues. Myanmar's military ruler, Min Aung Hlaing, has received a red carpet welcome to Thailand as he seeks to break his diplomatic isolation. Human rights groups say the visit legitimizes a brutal military regime. Indonesia is to export nearly 2,000 endangered long-tailed macaques to the United States for laboratory testing. Indonesia says they're a local pest, but welfare groups say the primate's survival is threatened. North Korea has fired an unidentified missile near Japan, another step in its ongoing military build-up. On Wednesday, Pyongyang accused Japan of becoming a war state. China has marked the deaths last year of 2 Coast Guard personnel on what it called a frontline mission in the South China Sea. It's the first apparent acknowledgement of fatalities in the high-speed collision between Chinese vessels during a confrontation with the Philippines. An Afghan man has been sent to prison for life in Germany for a deadly car ramming of a trade union march in Munich last year. The attack, with an Islamist motive, killed a woman and her 2-year-old child. Dozens of people were injured. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Public voting is now open for the inaugural Making Waves People Choice Award, and now it's your turn to have your say. Visit caymanconnection.org/vote to meet this year's finalists. Read their inspiring stories and vote for the Caymanian whose journey has inspired you the most. But don't wait too long. Voting closes on Sunday, August the 9th. Then join us live for the Making Waves Awards on Saturday, August 15th at 7 p.m. on the Cayman Connection Facebook page and YouTube channel. Go to caymanconnection.org/vote and cast your vote today.
Radio Cayman News.
Grand Court murder trial enters its third week.
As Deputy Commissioner, my commitment is to provide strong and visible leadership.
After 4 weeks of falling gas prices, the numbers are creeping back up.
This year has been quite difficult to keep the numbers of mosquitoes down.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate a low-level trough is expected to move across the Cayman area, with a few showers possible today, gradually increasing into tonight. Moderate winds and slight to moderate seas are expected. Radar imagery show showers in and around the Cayman area. Forecast for today calling for partly cloudy with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will rise to the low to mid-90s with a heat index of 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures dipping to the mid-80s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will be this morning at 9:45, high tide this evening at 5:22, and a low tide again tonight at 11:26. The sun will set this evening at 6:57 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for the chance of nighttime showers and possible thunder over the weekend as moisture moves in off near Cuba, supported by an upper level low. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
The 7:20 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Credit Union, on the road to 50 years of serving our members. Visit creditunion.ky to join today.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check it now with your traffic, see what's slowing, what's flowing. Coming from the east, traffic flowing pretty good on Shamrock Road. Steady but flowing traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway as we look to the Crew Road area. moving at a moderate pace in both directions, and coming off of Bobby Thompson Way as well as Agnes Way, moderate flow of traffic. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing pretty good in both directions. And coming off of the Esley Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moving at a moderate pace. And continuing on to the Industrial Park area, steady but flowing traffic on North Sound Road in both directions. Have you seen accidents or incidents? Let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Meet our stars. They've trained, practiced, and prepared. Now they're ready to shine. On Saturday, August 8th, witness the journey of our 6 remarkable contestants at the 42nd Annual Miss Teen Cayman Islands pageant. Come to the Lion Center and show your support for these inspiring young women as they vie for the title. Early bird tickets are just $40 at Ticket Plus, Winner Circle, and Funky Tanks. Don't miss the moment. A new queen is crowned. See you at the Lion Center.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. Susan, you caught me on a fast cue to come back to the show there. That's all good. It's all good. All right. So on this segment of the show, I touched on this a little bit on Tuesday. I was speaking about the Segregated Insurance Fund and an update that was made there. So we're going to get the full story today. Now, the Segregated Insurance Fund, it might not be familiar to some people by name, but it helps finance medical care for some of the most vulnerable members of our community. Those who are unable to obtain health insurance, or maybe they're only partially insurable. A new online system has now been launched to modernize the way insurance companies report and submit contributions to the fund. While the technology is an important part of the story, and that's what we're going to be discussing today a lot about that, we're also going to break down how the Segregated Insurance Fund works, who the fund assists, how someone qualifies, and whether those who need help know where to find it. So we're going to get a bit of that background as well, okay? I'd like to welcome my guests. We have Mr. Glenville Hodgson. He's a financial accountant with the Department of Health and Regulatory Services, and Melissa Berry, Deputy Director with the Health Insurance Regulation from the Department of Health Regulatory Services. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
It's good to have you. Thanks for joining me because it's definitely a very interesting topic and I don't really know anything about it. So I'm glad that I have the experts in studio to lead us through this discussion. And I think it's so important. It's such an important fund for Cayman to have, especially to help those who maybe don't always qualify for health insurance or it's hard for them to get it. So, and I love the fact that we're modernizing things. We're helping people get all the data right,
yes.
And helping those people who need the health insurance. So we're going to learn all about that. So can you please start by explaining how the Segregated Insurance Fund works, what it is, and why it's important to Cayman's healthcare system?
So I'll actually take that question.
Okay.
The Segregated Insurance Fund was established under the Health Insurance Commission Act of 2016. And the fund is, to maintain healthcare insurance and to also, as you said, help to defray the cost of healthcare for those individuals who are medically indigent, uninsurable, or partially uninsurable individuals. Now, how is this funded? We have currently 9 approved health insurance providers on island, and they're responsible for the collections of these funds and remittance of these funds to the ministry. Now, the Department of Health Regulatory Services actually administers the fund.
Mm-hmm.
We're part of the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, and so we are the arm that actually administers the fund and also responsible for the audit of the Segregated Insurance Fund.
Audit's my least favorite word out there.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, now just to break down, I guess, a little bit more, how exactly is the fund financed? And how are the monthly contributions collected from insured persons?
Sure. So this is where the story begins.
Okay.
So we actually started on a journey a number of years ago. The funds collections were all manual, so each approved insurer every month would submit their reports to us via email and also confirm payment via email. And so this is why we're here today, because this week on Monday, we actually launched our online portal, which, will give better visibility to both our stakeholders and also internal individuals who actually rely on the numbers to make decisions for the Segregated Insurance Fund.
Okay. Can you walk us through how money moves from an individual's insurance premium into the fund and eventually pays for somebody's medical care, if that's the way it works? Because I feel like that's how I understand it works.
Well, the funds are used to actually defray the cost of health insurance. Of course, it does by no means cover the cost of all of those individuals who find themselves in this position, but it does help to defray the cost.
So is it like is there in each individual person out there in Cayman that does have health insurance, is there a little tiny portion coming out of ours to help with this segregated
Exactly.
insurance fund?
So most people would not have heard of the Segregated Insurance Fund because it's not a line item on their insurance invoice when they receive it. It's directly collected by the approved insurers and remitted to the government.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so that amount is actually included in the premiums.
Yes.
So it is... just for clarity, so each premium, each individual premium, so if it's one person covered, they are contributing $10 out of their premium.
Okay.
So $10 every month goes. That's what they pay when they pay the full premium. $10 is what the insurers collect for that person for each policy, and then and even membership as well. So if you're covered in a group, the premiums there is actually that $10 is being collected and put towards the fund. If you have a family tier, like premium, meaning that you have a dependent plus one or a family, you pay $20. So that is built into the premium. So what the insurers do, they collect those monies, those amounts on a monthly basis, and that is what's remitted to the commission on a monthly basis.
Okay, and so since it's built into the premium, it's not like the person holding the insurance can say, I don't want that, I don't want to contribute, which would be awful as well.
Yes.
In that sense. I think it's a great fund to have to help those who need it. And $10 from those, it's built into the premium already.
Correct.
So you don't really notice that.
Correct.
coffee costs $7 these days.
Yes.
If you're going out to buy it. So, it's not hard to do. Okay. I think you already told us a little bit about who's responsible for managing the fund and approving payments from it. And
Yes.
you guys manage, you administer.
Yes. So part of my primary responsibility is to ensure that we're prepared for audit each year, and part of that is managing the funds, and also to ensure that we can also quantify those numbers. And actually, the step to having the fund online will give us a lot more time to actually, look at these numbers and ensure that they actually do make sense. Mm-hmm. And that's part of our journey that we've been on, is to ensure that when we do report the numbers, that we can have confidence in those numbers. Mm-hmm. Another part of the SIF is also the number of persons insured. And so a lot of individuals actually rely on this number because it gives a test of, or it gives an estimate of what the population is like. So all of the approved insurers actually report to us on a monthly basis the number of insured persons in Cayman.
Okay. Do we know of how many people in Cayman are utilizing the segregated insurance fund?
Well, under the Act, everyone in Cayman is required to have health insurance.
Yes.
So you'll hear more about the policy termination side of this, which is another area that the department manages.
Correct.
But yes, everyone who has health insurance contributes, whether they realize it or not, to the segregated insurance fund.
Right. We all yes. Contribute to it. Yes. But now I'm like, what question did I just ask you? Because it completely went out of my head. Maybe it'll come back to me in a couple minutes. All right. I love it when that happens. Okay. So the fund assists people who are described as indigent, uninsurable, or partially uninsurable. Can you break down those different terms?
Okay, so we do know that they've made some changes in the LA or the Parliament on the definition of medical indigent. They've changed that to medical recipient.
Okay,
so,
thank you.
That has not been reflected on our Act as yet, but it's about to change. So those are persons who are who will apply through DFA for assistance, and that they have a medical need.
What's DFA?
Oh, sorry, DFA is Department of Financial Assistance.
Okay, thank
you.
you.
So, yeah, they will have to apply through that government entity, and that their application is assessed, and then they will be considered if they are medically, if they're a medical recipient for that plan. So there is a process that our department is not really involved in, but we do collect the funds on behalf of the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, so that they could fund those persons. The next one that you said, partially insured persons. So let's say they've had a policy, they've used up their benefits. Because with the health insurance, standard health insurance contract, there is minimums or maximums that you could use up to.
Right.
So if they have met their those maximums, then they are technically partially uninsured. So they could go on to the medical indigent plan to get assistance. So that is where that's. So if it's more like a top up, so they can get the additional assistance if their current primary plan, let's say with their employers, or their self-employed is just not has been maxed out or not meeting the what's required for them to get care, then they can apply for the medical recipient plan. The uninsurable person is one that they deem that they will deem that say that if they've applied, their medical conditions are a little bit more the risk to cover them is going to be unaffordable, or it's just the premiums are not going to be something that the insurers are willing to cover. Then those requests comes to our department to assess uninsurability.
That's uninsurable. Okay.
Correct. So if they are deemed that, then there is a process in the legislation that we have to follow for those requests.
Now I have a bit of a personal question here. There's a really good friend of mine who has been diagnosed with a terrible, incurable illness, and it could make her lifespan a lot shorter, but her medical costs are about $100,000 a year. That's just for her to get her infusions, which she has to get. And she can't afford that at all, for example. So somebody like that, also self-employed, and not very wealthy self-employed person, like just kind of making it, when you're just trying and getting out there. So the income isn't high, absolutely maxed out on their insurance. In that kind of situation, she's not Caymanian either. In that kind of situation, is she eligible to apply as an uninsured person, or they've reached their maximum insurance benefits?
So to apply to DFA, I don't want to speak exactly to their process, but I do think that you have to be a Caymanian to apply to that process. For the uninsurable person, they can submit, if she's maxing out on her insurance with her current insurance company, she could apply for another insurance, and she may, if the insurance company reviews the application and deem that she's uninsurable, it comes to our office. I have to admit that is a gray area that for the Health Insurance Commission has to look at the moment. So we can look into it for her. Once she submits something to us, we could definitely guide her as much as we can. But at the moment, there is some gray areas in the Act where we case by case, because we don't get a lot of those requests at the Commission at the moment.
Interesting. Correct. Interesting that you don't, because I feel like there's a lot of people who have a lot of illnesses, like cancer, for example, and they're maxed out on what their treatment would cost, right? Their insurance to cover that.
Well, as it said, if she do submit something to us, we definitely look into it for her.
That's awesome. That's good to know. Okay. Correct. All right. But especially for Caymanians, we know that the Department of Financial Assistance absolutely helps them.
Correct.
So that was one of the questions anyways with the with the SIF. Is it just for Caymanians, or just does it include everybody who might be holding health insurance in the Cayman Islands right now, and everybody who's working and living here?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So we're doing good on time. How does somebody qualify for assistance from the Segregated Insurance Fund? What are the steps that they would have to go through?
Well, the fund itself, our remit is only to actually manage the collection of the funds and the reporting of what was actually collected and going through the audit. There's a different process actually that goes through the Department of Financial Assistance, as Barry mentioned. So
you wouldn't really...
that's not our remit.
I gotcha. No, yes. I mean, good to know. Just tell me, hey, we can't really answer that. I understand. I'd rather know that than me
so
trying to...
The purpose of the fund is actually to defray the cost that government already incurs.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. The application or referral process, that's what I kind of want to ask here. And I don't know if you can actually answer this now, if there's any documents or evidence that a person must provide, but I'm thinking that has to be more towards their insurance company. So when, I guess, the insurance companies are submitting the information to you, when they previously would do everything by email, and I'm guessing some sort of a spreadsheet or template that they would send, right?
Exactly.
Is through the online portal now, is any kind of documentation changing or more requirements being made towards them?
We believe it will streamline things. It will put everything in one location. So before it would sit in emails, accounts of the approved insurer or ourselves in their office. Someone on either side would be responsible for maintaining and submissions and so forth, and then disseminating that information to those who are in need, the commission on a monthly basis, or the superintendent, as an example, on a monthly basis. What the portal actually is going to do now is everyone will have visibility as to what has been submitted and where we are to date. So the approved insurers will still upload their spreadsheet to the portal. It will have some validation checks that it will ensure that, save us time for actually ensuring that we're getting exactly what we need. Once they've submitted the reports, they can also then confirm payment. Now, because of the amounts that are being remitted to the department, the normal course of making that payment will be through electronic funds transfer. Okay. But there are other payment options such as cash and check, which was the norm before we actually went online, and EFTs, of course, also. And there's a credit card option also, but because of the amounts, we don't see them actually paying this by credit card.
Right.
Yes. And so once it's been reviewed, the system is actually developed now, so they'll actually get notification as to where they are in the process of their submission every month.
Okay.
Prior to this, they would have to wait for someone within our office to send back an email to say, yes, we received your report, here's your receipt. All of that now will be on the portal. They'll be able to see the status of their submission and whether or not there's any issues. The portal also allows us to, push back the report to them and ask them to make certain corrections to the report. And we can also, they can, if they've later on found that, okay, in their report there was an error, they could actually resubmit their report and it will actually supersede the last report that was actually submitted. And then they can let us know what the differences are, whether or not they owe the additional funds, or whether they made an error in their report, meaning less funds were needed.
Okay, interesting. I like this. So there's been a lot of changes with the segregated insurance fund. I was just about to go, okay, we are going to go to a commercial break right now, and then we'll be back in a minute, and we're going to hear, I want to say a lot more details about what the changes are with the online reporting system now. Okay.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman, the forum of the people. Join me, Art Connor, on For the Record on Radio Cayman. We put the tough questions to government officials, independents, and opposition members of our parliament. And from time to time, we revisit our storied past. Tune in on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Reach out to us on 949-6990 or 1-800-534-8255. WhatsApp us 925-3261 or email talktooc@gmail.com. Your voice matters.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Hi, Bobo TD Cuzzy. Everybody, I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 58th anniversary by giving us the gifts. They got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I going book my flights now to go Galawantan next month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you on a directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 8th. Other conditions apply. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com. Your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and we are learning about the Segregated Insurance Fund. We're more so learning about the new online reporting system that insurance companies will be using for the Segregated Insurance Fund. In studio with me, I have Mr. Glenville Hodgson. He is the... Something happened to my mic. He's the... Something happened... There we go. Mr. Glenville Hodgson. He's a financial accountant with the Department of Health Regulatory Services. And Ms. Melissa Berry, she's a Deputy Director, Health Insurance Regulation with the Department of Health Regulatory Services. Now, to get back to the details here with this new online reporting system. If you can give us the details, on exactly what the improved efficiency will be, the details in what the improved accuracy will be, and the regulatory oversight.
Certainly. So the Act actually, insists that we exercise due care and due diligence in collecting the funds from the approved insurers. And so, before, in terms of efficiency, we would get the reports and then we would have to manually collate all of these reports for all 8 approved insurers. So we'd have
like
to.
A headache.
Yes. It's time consuming, and it leaves it open for error. You might miskey, type a number, and so forth. Yeah. What we have now with the portal is that it's the numbers as they've been reported by the approved insurers. So it's not someone rekeying information that was received. It's what the approved insurers have submitted to the commission. And so, this will increase efficiency and accuracy, and it would also allow the department more time to actually review the numbers and ensure that, those reflect what should be contributed to the fund on a monthly basis.
Is there instances where, because I'm thinking about online systems and when you're filling out forms online per se, so is there instances where you've had in the past where insurers are missing information, that they should have provided you information, they're missing it, but now with this new online system, that if they did not fill out that field, they cannot go to the next page? Is there some sort of example?
There is definitely validation on the system that will, ensure that we have the information as required. However, in the insurance business, sometimes there are business reasons for delays in making reporting. For instance, you could submit an application and you could have a back and forth between yourself and the approved insurer in terms of supporting documents for that application. Okay. And you applied for, let's say, July, and they finally got all the documents, made a decision to approve the policy, and then the reporting date had already passed for the SIF. So there might need to be some corrections. So this is where a report might need to be superseded in the sense that, okay, we now have new information in terms of the contributions that should have been made for July.
Okay.
As an example.
Okay, it's a good one.
Yes.
Will members of the public notice any direct impact from this new system, or are the benefits they're primarily behind the scenes or with you guys over here?
Yes. So members of the public won't notice anything directly. However, it's a step further in improving and ensuring that we're actually collecting what we should be collecting, and that step closer to helping those that are most vulnerable in our community.
But so maybe generally the members of the public won't feel it, but those who are relying on these funds,
yes,
they might feel this benefit because an improved system could mean improved time in their medical situation to be taken care of.
I think it means more accuracy in the terms of the amounts that we're collecting. We have more faith that we are actually collecting what we should be collecting, and therefore government will have the funds to defray those medical costs a bit more.
Excellent. That's good. Okay. So last year, the Department of Health and Regulatory Services introduced several online services for health insurance stakeholders. How does the latest initiative build on those digital improvements? And if you could give us a bit of a background on what some of those other digital improvements were.
So correct, yeah. The department did launch, Department of Health Regulatory Services did launch the Quick Wins. So we did a review, because just to give a little history, Department of Health Regulatory Services has two sections. We have the Health Practice Commission, who monitors the healthcare professionals and the healthcare facilities within the Cayman Islands. So they are in charge of registering practitioners and facilities. Mm-hmm. Then you have the Health Insurance Commission, where our mandate is for all matters in relating to health insurance. So that's the section that I am deputy for. Okay. So yes, we went on that journey of digitalizing our most of our processes, because we did spend a lot of time, looking down. So with having the ability to do more digitization of our processes, we noticed that we saw the benefit of having those services automated so that we could spend more time in reviewing the information and getting out responses as quickly as possible. So that exercise, so what we had launched last year, we did start it off with the policy termination portal that was launched last year, July.
Okay.
So technically we're 1 year in using the program, and that has been a transformational process for the health insurance side, particularly with inspectors who have to get reports on a monthly basis around the 15th of the month from all of the insurance companies. Before, that process was very manual. We had to we received the reports from the insurers. Some of them were a little bit more heavy than others reporting, so we were looking about an average of 1,000 entries a month that we had.
On terminations alone?
Correct. So we had to, and these are for policies that was not paid, so they were in arrears. Therefore, they were being lapsed by the insurance company. So we were receiving reports on the 15th of the month, every month on the 15th, from all the insurers, because that's what they have. That's their deadline to submit. And the inspection team had to enter all of this information manually into the system, research who we're supposed to be sending out letters to, draft the letters manually, and get them sent out. So with the portal, now the insurance companies now are actually uploading their spreadsheets on top of the portal, so it automatically uploads everything. Each case is entered within, I would want to say, seconds or minutes.
So just to interrupt you briefly.
Correct.
So seconds and minutes compared to if you had to take one of these submissions and manually enter everything yourself, how much time do you think it took for just one report?
I would say for the inspectors probably could have taken about a week and a half to get that whole process done. So we have cut down on our time with that just the data entry part of it.
That is huge time efficiency improvements.
Yes. So that is why we highlighted this process as one of our quick wins, because we felt the volume and the complexity, because it had multiple steps to get it done. We were like, this is the first one that felt strongly that this has to be automated, because we needed to spend more time, because the policy termination is more of our preventative measure, where this is our time where we could get policyholders, employers aware that, okay, wait a minute, your policy there's an issue, it's more like it's inactive, and you need to kind of get that regularized. So that's with that policy termination process, automating that process, we've seen the fruits of that digitalization.
That's awesome.
Yes, we have. And in addition to it, didn't mention about getting out letters. So letters were done manually. So that was another part too that we definitely felt strong that we just need to be able to just touch a button, send our letters out. Once we enter the correct information to who we're reaching out to, once we add that in, we just have to just press send. So we've been enjoying that for the past year.
Is it an AI program that's doing the letters for you?
Well, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. But we are actually dictating like who we're sending. But I think the templates are there, so it's just changing the email address, the employer information.
Okay.
So it's just putting it in where it's supposed to. It's kind of like a mail merge where they're entering it in the correct spot, and we dictate how that information is. So I don't think it's AI driven.
No. So prior to this, all of this was manually done. Each inspector would have to type that letter to that employer or individual to say your policy has lapsed. Now it's all actually automated, where they received the reports from the approved insurers. It's in the system. They can then decide with a click of a button and maybe add in some notation that, notify that individual that your policy, has been terminated.
Okay. So it's not really much in the body of the letter. That's generally pretty much the same. It might be a different notation in the body of the letter. So it's just the address and the recipient that would have to change.
Yes.
Correct.
But what has changed is that this is now automated.
Yeah.
It's not manual.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
We can actually advise a lot more individuals of what's happening with their policy, because sometimes it could just be miscommunication between the approved insurer and the employer or employee.
Yeah.
So yes.
It's similar to some of the automated letters the government has already for civil servants.
Yeah.
I don't always like them because I'm like, oh no, it needs a lot more personality than this. But that's a whole different that's a whole different game right there. Okay. So I think that's great. So your letters are now automated that you have to send out. You don't have to manually type up a letter every single time and send it to a different policyholder, which is great. And then the amount of time that you are saving with the policy terminations that you have to deal with. Yes. So it's not taking you about a week and a half to go through one insurer's all the information that they've sent you. It's taken you
probably days.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Correct.
And
a lot of time
what we're looking to also, now that we have this information digitized, we can then also help the inspectors to automatically close some of those cases, possibly because maybe it's an instance where you have changed approved insurer and your your policy is actually not terminated. So it's actually given us a lot more handle on the data that we actually do collect and how we can help to ensure that we're meeting or what we've been mandated to under the Act and the regs.
Okay. Gotta go to
and just to add to, even with the online, the digitization project, so I mentioned earlier, the Health Practice Commission, they too have done some digital transformation as well too. So so they too have been working on their digitalization section. So with the SIF is I think the third project that now we're rolling out. So we have been, trying to knock out on our wish list on what should be automated so that we could focus more on, more compliance. And
I just see the smiles on your faces that you're like relieved that additional pressure is kind of taken off and you can be a lot more just efficient in your work.
Correct. And effective as well.
Yes, exactly. That's just so great. Like you do seem very relieved about it, which I love.
Correct.
Like you're proud about the product and what you're offering and the improved service. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We've got to go to our last commercial break right now. When we come back, of course, we're going to get into still more details about this new online reporting system.
Not sure where you fit in tech? Pathways in Tech by Enterprise Cayman can help you find your route. Whether you're interested in project management, computer support, or network systems, this program helps individuals explore practical, career-focused skills for real opportunities in Cayman's tech and innovation sector. It's beginner-friendly, job-relevant, special economic zone connected, and scholarships are available. Your path in tech starts here. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to apply today.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is Roy Barton, and I'd like to wish Radio Cayman a happy 50th anniversary and many, many, many more.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. We are learning about the new online reporting system when it comes to the Segregated Insurance Fund. And we're getting a lot of really good information here. So I'm happy to say that our guest, Mr. Glenville Hodgson, financial accountant from the Department of Health and Regulatory Services, and Miss Melissa Berry, Deputy Director, Health Insurance Regulation with the Department of Health Regulatory Services. I'm happy to say that they're filling us in here with this information. We talked a little bit about what happens with policy terminations. And I want to go back again to policy terminations due to non-payment of premiums. You've explained a little bit what's changed there, right? In the sense of you're able to send out a letter right away. You said one more thing that has escaped my mind. If you can just remind me.
Yeah, the reports are uploaded.
Yes. Okay, so the legal obligations of approved insurers under the Health Insurance Act when a policy is terminated because premiums have not been paid. Can you tell us what those legal obligations are?
Okay, so the approved insurers are required to report any policies that are in arrears / not paid within 45 days from the effect date. So as per the health insurance legislation, premiums are due on the first of the month. So we do know that there's practices where some people will come in and pay after the month, but premiums are due on the first. So at a minimum, you should try to pay your premiums within the coverage month so that you're not on that list, because the approved insurers are required by law to report those policies that are in arrear, because they too are subject to fines if they're not reporting those policies appropriately. And just to say too that there is a fine that they can be levied against, so they do take this reporting seriously. They are required by the law, by the act, to report policies in arrears or lapsed policies.
Do the fines really happen?
Well, they can, and that's something too that the Commission is looking at. Because with having the automation, we could we have the time to review. So if we see that if that stakeholder is not complying and it's a routine practice, yes, we can levy the fines.
Ooh, and you're saying you have more time now to
correct.
fine.
Because in the past we were more looking down. Now we can be looking up to say, well, wait a minute here, what's going on? We could probe things for compliance, and of course we do have that enforcement arm that we can escalate to. So yes, that is, we prefer compliance, but we do have enforcement powers if needed.
But it's so interesting just how the improvements will allow you to focus on other areas of your job that you needed to focus on, but you just couldn't because you have to get through the bulk of everything else first.
Correct.
Yes. Wow, okay, so that's great. I'm happy for you guys in that sense. Why is it important for the Department of Health and Regulatory Service to receive these timely reports of these policy terminations? Is it so you don't levy these fines?
Correct. So, of course, yes, you have to for the approved insurers, they have to make sure that they submit their reports on time, because, yes, they can be subject to a fine, and, they don't want to be the first to be where the Commission now does, enforce that section of the Act.
Right.
In addition, as I mentioned before, the policy termination process is our preventative measure, because we, as the mandates, the health insurance mandates, is that all residents in the Cayman Islands is supposed to be covered on a standard health insurance contract or a policy of health insurance. So once we have that signal that a policy is inactive, my team will definitely, when we get those reports, we are reaching out. So that is what our outreach for that preventative measure starts. Okay. So we do try to engage. We engage the employers, the policyholders, the employees to get compliance, because that's what we want first. We want persons to have insurance, because healthcare in Cayman is not free. You are required to have health insurance. And that's what the mandates of our legislation and what the government is pushing for. So we want persons to maintain a policy, because we don't want to have that conversation with employees, when, they don't have a policy and they need care. At that point, it is very difficult for the commission. We're looking for someone to pay those bills. And if if the employers, it shows that there is a offense that they committed by not having health insurance, we will be looking at the employers to be paying those bills. So we prefer to, as I said, is preventative measure versus cure, because at that point it's very kind of out of our hands, and that's where our enforcement arm does. It's not an easy task for the team to be taking on and giving that call or writing that letter saying, no, we now have a bill, no insurance, or prove that you have health insurance, and if there's none, we need to have that conversation how that bill is going to be settled.
There's also, unfortunately, some bad apples out there when it comes to businesses that, understand that maybe the Health Practice Commission, I hope I got the right department here. Insurance Commission, yes, sorry. Health Insurance Commission, knowing that, okay, they don't have the time or capacity per se to kind of throw these fines on us. They're busy with other stuff right now. So in knowing that, some of these bad apples could take advantage of that situation. It's like knowing that maybe there's not enough police in a certain area and you might be speeding through there, which is the wrong thing to do, but you try to take advantage, right? So there's always going to be somebody who tries to take advantage of the system.
Correct.
So I like that this has been brought into play because you're able to kind of straighten those bad apples up.
Yes.
And say, no, you guys got to go.
This is definitely key, and that's what the portal is actually going to give us as we continue to roll out different features in the coming months and year.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. So hopefully we'll see a lot more compliance from health insurance providers, right? Okay, so the reporting process, how does it help strengthen consumer protection and ensure compliance within the health insurance sector?
Well, for the past year, it has helped us two ways. Mainly with the outreach, it has improved the public awareness of the commission and our mandates. So we have been, getting the word out that, you need to have insurance. And so that has helped us with our outreach. In addition to with the public education, my team, we have that opportunity for one-on-one public education. So try to correct certain practices that we see out there, as I'd mentioned earlier, where some persons are of the opinion that premiums are due after the coverage month, and we have communicated with employers, policyholders, employees that our act, because as in the inspectorate team, we have to go by what our legislation say, and it's premiums are due on the first of the month. So we're very clear when it comes to that messaging, and we get that opportunity to let persons know that this is the standard that we are going to be upholding. And we do get the chance to definitely, as I said, preventative, get a handle on if the person is, if we get wind that the insurance is not active, we are getting that chance to really let them know we have an issue, please rectify it, and then we could, definitely close this case. So it has helped us with, our quicker responses and, getting timely responses so that we could move on and try to focus on the bad actors who are not responding. So it has been helping trying to get that, holistic approach where we are spending our time where we should.
Excellent. Okay. Now, what should policyholders know about the consequences of missing premium payments?
Well, as I'd mentioned before, premiums are due on the first of the month.
Yep.
And per the legislation, the insurance companies do have that ability. They're allowed to cancel your policy if you don't pay your premiums. Mm-hmm. So you don't want where your policy now is in jeopardy or canceled, and then you need health care services. You go to the hospital, you're told, no, you need a surgery, you don't have insurance. So you're putting yourself at a position where now you're going to have to try to get the policy regularized, and the insurance companies will ask questions. So Maintaining your health insurance policy allows your portability or transferability and your access to health care. So that is where it's important to maintain your health insurance policy. And so I know the question was about missing premium payments, or
yeah, but I think you kind of touched on the consequences of missing the premium, the fines.
Correct.
We know that the cancellation of the policy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you want to just always, because once you pay your premiums, your policies, because insurance is month to month. Yeah. So once you pay that one-time fee for the month, you're covered for the beginning of the month to the end. And, you know, the cost is affordable, because when you look at the cost of the premium versus, you know, where healthcare in Cayman could be quite pricey. Yeah. I would prefer to be paying the $167 or my premium, whatever cost of my premium, versus having to pay that for that bill. And even as an employer too, I would want to make sure that my employees are covered, because I don't want to be their insurance policy as an employer. So that is where it's critical.
Okay.
Yes.
Very important stuff.
Correct.
We're at the end here. We're at the 9 a.m. headline news almost, but I'm going to give you a chance if there's any kind of information you want our listeners to know. I'm going to give you a minute to let them know. Wrap up.
Sure. So the Department of Health Regulatory Services, we are on a journey to improve our offerings to our stakeholders. While what we have presented today might not directly impact those stakeholders, but in the wider sense, everyone in Cayman is required to have health insurance. And health insurance is to mitigate the risk of having a huge health bill. And so, you know, these tools that we've introduced will help us as a department to ensure that, you know, we help everyone to ensure that, you know, we mitigate the risk of that cost either as an employer or even an employee. So we're looking ahead to, you know, roll out some other online features. You'll probably hear from our other section, the Health Practice Commission, because we did last year also roll out their renewal for practitioners online, which has, you know, saved practitioners a lot of time. And in terms of not having to visit the government admin building, they can now submit their applications online and actually make payment online. So we're looking to have that for facilities and also for new applications as we continue to, you know, complete our approved business case that we have started a few years ago.
Okay, awesome. Great. I'd love to see the improvements. Love to see the modernization happening. It's a great thing.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe we'll be seeing some fines levied in the future. We don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully people will be compliant. But now you got the capacity to do so, right? You got more so the time. So,
and I would just like to say a big thank you to, of course, our department, our team, our colleagues, because it was a collective effort for, you know, getting that transformation to where it is today, and just letting them know thank you, and also to, you know, thanks to the our eGov, because we did work with eGov on this project, in addition to for the support of our head of department, Mr. Conley, and also to the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, because of course we needed their support with this project, and they did believe in it from day one. So to highlight that we are enjoying the fruits of their
efforts.
Yes, correct.
Awesome.
Of their support. So we want to definitely thank them for all of so far, and we look forward to getting more done in the future.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, La Paz. It was great to learn a little bit more, and you absolutely schooled me on stuff. So thank you for providing the information to me and our listeners. It was great to know.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. We're going to go to a little bit after 9 a.m. headline news, and then I'm going to be talking with an amazing young Caymanian artist.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Island Energy says there will be a planned outage in Cayman Brac on Stake Bay Road West through Alta Vista on Monday from 9 a.m. to 11. Crews will be upgrading the service to the area. And as this is high voltage work, quote, the power must be off for crews to safely conduct the upgrade. In international news, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says the country's military has hit 2 Russian oil refineries in, quote, long-range attacks. Russia's regional governor there calls it the, quote, largest ever attack by enemy drones, adding that 93 drones were destroyed, but oil storage tanks have been hit by falling debris. Across Russia, the military says it has intercepted and destroyed 605 Ukrainian drones in multiple regions. Ukraine has launched a series of strikes on Russian infrastructure in recent weeks, including refineries and warehouses. In Ukraine, officials say 3 people have been killed in a Russian drone attack on a residential area. 4 young women have told the BBC they were sexually assaulted and harassed at an army training college for teenagers in the UK, with one saying she was raped by several fellow junior soldiers in an attack that lasted hours. The women all attended the Army Foundation College over the past 5 years and say the incidents happened when they were 17. An Army spokesman said the reports are, quote, extremely distressing and serious. The BBC can also reveal that North Yorkshire police received 16 reports of sexual offences linked to the college this year through June, according to a Freedom of Information request. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's orthopedic clinic has relocated to the 2nd floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's orthopedic clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz, and now we're on a bit of a creative segment of the show, which I'm excited to be having a different talk right now on The Buzz. And my guest on this section, we have Deandre Scott, aka Douji, right? I got it right? Yes. He is an abstract artist, absolutely amazing. A few days ago, Susan was showing me some of his art, and I was very blown away, completely blown away. I suck at drawing. I'm really bad. I've gone to art classes, all sorts of things. So when I see people who just have what to me seem to be an unbelievable talent at art, I'm blown away by them. So I am blown away by you, Douji. Good morning and welcome to The Buzz. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, I'm wide awake. I had a coffee, everything's good.
Good. I'm on my second coffee. I'm still not wide awake. So you're doing a little bit better than me, even though I've been chatting since about 7:30. So fine. You're doing good. So you're an abstract artist.
Yeah. Well, I would say that it's a mixture of mixed media as well, because I like to try something new or try something a little bit different out of my range, or my media or my mediums. So, yeah.
What's meant by mixed media?
So with mixed media, you're trying different type of styles. Like, for example, you're mixing in graphics with... Well, you're mixing graphics with different elements of art. For example, let's say I want to use a canvas or just have my acrylics. I'm going to be all right, what can I do with this piece to make it different? Well, let's try adding oil pastels or oil paints to it. and then that's what makes it a little bit of a mixture of everything, you know. And then if you feel like, I want to add something that slaps a little bit more vibrancy, I tried spray painting or markers, so to give it like a little bit of a graffiti style, you know.
I like that. Okay, that's cool. What were your inspirations? How did you start?
So I started back home. I used to do mostly a lot of like just traditional drawing, you know. I used to be like staying in my room, just drawing. Even in high school, no, actually all the way to primary, all the way to high school, even college now, I was just always sketching. My teachers was like, "Oh, you need to stop drawing in class. Oh, you need to stop doing this, stop doing that." So even my friends, I would be on a bus just sketching. I would be at a restaurant, or even when I'm asleep, I feel like, I want to do something else. So just drawing. And then...
So really, since you were really, really young, because you said from primary school, you were always just drawing.
Yeah. So it got to the point where I was like telling my parents I want to be an artist and I want to go overseas for it. They were like, at first, you know, they supported it, but they were like, if this is what you want, just know that you have to do something second with it. And I was like...
They wanted you to do something secondary?
Yeah.
As in...
Like something to back up with it. At that time...
So back up with that now.
Yeah,
Hold on. As in... Because I want to break that down. As in, they support you wanting to pursue art, but have a bit of a backup, as in have... I don't want to put the words in your mouth, but was it in the sense of... We want to make sure you're going to be financially okay, and art isn't necessarily a promising or lucrative career.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah,
it's
a safety net. So I understand where they're coming from, right? It's a safety net.
And then that time I was like, all right, I'll see what I can do. So I did like a lot of different jobs in different sectors that I thought was like, for me, all the jobs I have done.
Like what?
Well, all right, so I did, I used to teach a lot. Well, I used to help with like after school. I helped out at my school with being an art teacher, assistant art teacher.
Awesome.
I loved it, which was like, you know, what's it called? Vocational studies as like an internship. I was looking for a type of job that was like art, and there was none. It was either you work at the fire station or policeman or work at administration. I was like, that's not me. I don't know how to do that. And then my teacher was like, all right, let's put you in assistant teaching with me. And I was like, I liked it. And I understood how a lot of my teachers felt when they're teaching their class with like other students. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just a little bit strange.
I should have been a better student.
Yeah.
I'm teasing you.
No worries. But yeah, and then I started doing like mostly a lot of after school stuff. And then when I came to Grand Cayman, I worked at the Ritz. I really liked it, but I wanted to do something else. I feel like I didn't really fit in because I was just, you know when you're just yourself and you're funny, you're wacky in your own way, whimsical.
You're an individual, and you express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I felt like a lot of those other jobs, I was like being too much. I was like, this can't be myself when I'm working. So I had to just be quiet, or just work and follow instructions, which was a little bit hard for me. I was like, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. They want to feel pressured. I was like, what job can I do that I don't have to feel that? But you're responsible for anything that you do and for anybody else, And, when I came to, Grand Cayman, I was in that sense. It's like, what job is there for me where I'm still productive, still listening to what my parents are saying, yet they can still be happy that I'm doing what I want to do. So I got into UCCI, and a friend of mine was like, when I first started, they was like, hey, did you say you wanted to get into like video production? I was like, sure, it's similar to art. I want to get into animation, so that's something I want to do. And I chose it. At first, I was like, I feel a little bit shy because I didn't know how to use the camera. Because we're working with like expensive equipment. And over time, I was like, oh, sure, this is easy. I really like this. And then that's where I got to experience a different category in art, which was filmmaking. And then I got into editing. Editing was the hard part for me. I was kind of scared, but I used a lot of my knowledge from like music making, where you put your stuff together, and it's just like cutting and pasting.
Yeah.
And I used that with editing, and I was like, okay, I can make my own videos out of this. So I got into photography, and then I realized that, okay, these are things that I enjoy that follows with what I want as a career, And then with like when I'm doing my art, I can just put anything together, which is like, if I'm saying that, okay, I want to show the process, I know where to set my camera, I know what audio I want to use, or how to make it easier for anyone to hear what I'm saying, and put something wacky with it, or some sound effects. So those type of stuff that I really enjoyed, and I got to understand a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that time, I was like, I need to do something else. It's fun, but I wanted to explore, because I don't feel like sitting in one spot too long and getting too comfortable, because living on a small island, there's not really much to do, but you have to make the most of it, even though you might feel like, oh, I want to leave, or this, that. That's what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I felt stuck. I felt like I was at level 1.
I think that's a really real feeling a lot of people go through.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any guidance from anybody during those times when you're feeling really stuck?
Yes. So I would say a lot of my role models, in a way, or my guidance, was like with my uncles. They were really cool. They taught me stuff that I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna need, and then they put it in like in the aspect is like, yo, you're gonna need these stuff to reach where you want to be in life.
Mm-hmm.
And at that same time, it's like, I can't do that. And the funniest thing is, one of my uncles is like, all right, give me $50. I was like, $50? It's like, exactly, you can't even do that, because you have to do something, a physical job or physical work that will pay the bills,
Mm.
And then at that time, he's like, all right, join me and I'll teach you something, like washing cars. So I used to just use that as like something I would learn. So if I'm still where I am, I can work up towards what I want in life,
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother, who works with cars as well, does his own stuff, he would teach me one or two things, I was like, oh, cool. And then even with computers and stuff, I just sat down and watched my cousin, because he programs games, and he does a lot of like video editing, and I sat down and watched how they worked.
Mm-hmm.
And even my teachers with art, Miss Kimberly and Miss Wright. No, Miss Wright and Miss Clark, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, with how they used to do their art,
Mm-hmm.
and their students and such, they would add me to their classes, and I would sit down there and watch how they do their own art. For example, like CXC art, where when you're a higher grade and you have to do SPAs and portfolios.
Mm-hmm.
That time I was like the only student that picked art, and in grade 11, and then the grade 12 would be like a lot of students that are higher in the art
Mm-hmm.
course, and then my teacher would be like, all right, since you have no one to really like have around to see what they're doing, so she would merge me with their class. And I was amazed. I was like, wow, I'm in front of people who are like a higher level than me with these type of stuff. But I had to remember at the same time, is a learning process. It's you versus you. That's how you have to remember as an artist. In life, you can't look at another artist and be like, man, I want to be like them. No, it's just you. You know?
What's very interesting is kind of how you just took us through the whole process of just where you started off with art from drawing, and then going a little bit into the graphics, and then going a little bit into the learning how to do videos, and then editing with videos, and then photography.
Yeah.
And then also just taking outside of art, whether it was working on cars, any other kind of job where you're just learning. It seems like your mind wants to understand a whole bunch of different things, and just kind of, it's like you're building that over again through your art, per se. That's just kind of how I'm listening to your story, and how it kind of comes out. We're going to go to a really quick commercial break right now, but when we come back, I want to know, I guess, a little bit about who you look at for inspiration in art, who some of your favorite artists are, where you'd like art to take you. Okay, let's go to a quick commercial break.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Not sure where you fit in tech? Pathways in Tech by Enterprise Cayman can help you find your route. Whether you're interested in project management, computer support, or network systems, this program helps individuals explore practical, career-focused skills for real opportunities in Cayman's tech and innovation sector. It's beginner-friendly, job-relevant, special economic zone connected, and scholarships are available. Your path in tech starts here. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to apply today.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging all residents to verify the validity of their travel documents and take steps to protect them ahead of the hurricane season, which starts the 1st of June. Residents are advised to check passport expiry date, verify entry requirements for their destination, apply for or renew passports and visas early, and make copies of passports and key documents and store them in waterproof containers. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. We are talking with me and my 12 personalities are talking with Deandre Scott. He is a young abstract artist, and he was telling us really how he started from primary school, always sketching, and how his interest in things just kind of led him to learning different art forms. So he went through a little bit of sketching and drawing and painting and graphics and video and photography, and his interest in just learning new things. And it's interesting because I know mine's like this so much. And I love the interest in trying to understand how something works, almost mastering that per se, or understanding it and being, boom, moving on to the next thing. That does take focus. It might seem like your interests are everywhere, but it takes focus. And why should your interest only be in one space? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I love the fact that you're using your mind to explore so many different things here. I think that's great. When you got into your artwork so much, were you looking at any artists that were inspiring you, or anybody that you were like, I really like their style, that's something that I want to, not copy, but emulate per se?
Yeah. So, like when I started that process, I was looking for like, what can I use as like inspiration to an art style that seems there, but it still doesn't make any sense right now. In high school, my teachers kept seeing this type of art style like Basquiat, and I was like, who is that again? And then because I heard that a lot growing up, and then I searched him up one time on the internet in high school. I was like, yeah, I really like this. And what happened, what I liked about it is like style of art is like, it's loud and speaks, And with a lot of my art, I'm trying to not really show what the art is truly meaning. Is like, you have to open your mind to it, because a lot of the time we will look at something and be like, okay, this is what it is. But what if it's not what it is,
Everybody interprets art differently.
Exactly. And then it touches with how others would interpret you or the artist, Because my whole life I felt like a lot of people interpret who I am,
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like people didn't get to know me as the artist or know me as who I am when I'm outside,
Did it matter to you how people were perceiving you?
At the time, it didn't matter, because at the same time, where people start to critique the little things that they would say that, yeah, I saw this for a quick second, this is how you are, And then at the time, it's like, you don't know me.
There's so much more.
There's so much more, Even like, it can be friends or family, they feel like, yes, we definitely know you. It's like, there's so much going on that time.
Mm-hmm.
Even with like the art process, where at that time I felt self-doubt, because a lot of my friends or a lot of past teachers were like, yeah, this is not for you, this doesn't make sense, you should do something else that would be something that would help you in the long run. I'm like,
people were telling you this is not for you?
Yeah.
Did they see the work that you were producing, creating?
At first, that time, it was the sketching, because I used to make cartoons and anime, and they was like, yeah, this is not going to cut it. I'm like, well, okay, that's your opinion.
Good. How did you learn to have that confidence in yourself and kind of tune that criticism out?
At that time, I had to really work on like isolation a little bit, because at that time I was like in that stage, it's like, oh, I'm all alone, I need to be around someone, or I need to surround myself with people. And I realized by me surrounding myself by people, it just kind of limit my capabilities, what I can do, a lot of like,
because they were projecting onto you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that?
Right.
They couldn't see in themselves what you were doing. They couldn't see themselves doing that.
Right.
So that projection being like, this isn't for you, you can't do, they couldn't see a path forward for you, but most importantly, could you see a path forward for yourself?
Exactly.
That's what matters, is you seeing that path forward for yourself, not what I might see for you, because that's my projection on you.
Yeah.
So I feel like and the isolation makes sense, because it's like, whoa, you're trying to know who you are, and I hope that you know who you are. And when other people are saying this is who you are, that can be very detrimental once you don't have a strong enough sense of self.
Exactly. Because what I had to remember in my journey, where I was getting into the painting, was freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. Someone came into the gallery that time when I was still learning how to paint and such. Actually, how I got into painting was Jason Kennedy. That time I was just walking, actually on my skateboard, just skating around Kimmana Bay,
You're a skateboarder?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I moved here.
What?
Was to run that park, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have a whole skateboarding conversation after this.
Yes.
All right.
And then that time it was like I was in that self-doubting part of my life, where I was trying to find who am I when I'm not doing the art. And when I stumbled in his gallery, I was like, I always used to come in there and be like, hey, how did you get into art? How can I be an artist? I was telling him all this type of stuff, so I can get feedback how I can improve myself, and a lot of it was helpful, and I had to realize to become an artist, you have to talk to people. You can't leave yourself being like, oh, but tell yourself, yeah, I'm gonna be, which is a good thing, but you have to really talk to somebody. How can you reach here? What are the steps you had to take? What are some stuff I had to learn first before I step into like a big thing? What happened was stability. As an artist, you have to be stable. You have to make sure you have certain savings. You have to save. That's the thing. A lot of artists, not a lot of artists, what I have to go through, because that time, when you make your first money from a painting, you're like, dang, all right, I'm rich. Let me buy something.
Is that what you're doing? Are you selling your paintings and artwork now? Excellent.
And then I realized
where are you selling it?
I'm selling it at the National Art Gallery.
Well, soon.
I'm selling at Jason Kennedy's Art Gallery.
Okay.
And I work there now.
Which is in Camana Bay, yes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm very happy that I'm working there, that he's taught me a lot as well, because that time I was like, how can I make a canvas? He taught me how to make a canvas, how to wrap a canvas, how to ship it, or how to make sure that it speaks,
Yeah.
Because at the same time, I was just doing my same old art. But I was like, what makes it commercial? What makes it make sense, not to myself, but to others, And you had to be you when you're painting. You can't follow any other type of artist. Because when I reached in there, I was like, man, I wish I could paint like that. I can't do that. That's the thing. Never self-doubt yourself,
Yeah, which is so easy to do.
Yeah.
And again, that somebody else put that criticism in your head. You never put that in your head. Somebody else put that in your head. Exactly. From whatever age it was. We have to wrap up the show. We're going a little bit over the time, which sucks.
My bad.
I have a final question for you.
Right.
What do you want to do with your career as an artist? Or do you want to fully live as an artist?
What I want to do with my career is I do want to be a full-time artist, but at the same time, I want to be an help to other artists in Cayman where they don't have to feel like they're alone in what they're trying to achieve. I want them to know that, hey, we have to promote this on the island because without art in Cayman, who are we, Because a lot of the stuff that I see on the island is that a lot of artists make these, for example, like graphic design. We need a lot of graphic designers, people that for example, make jeans or make T-shirts, those type of stuff. For example, billboards. A lot of those stuff that I see, I'm like, who is making it?
Yeah.
Is it just one person? What if the person gets tired and
There's a few, but yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So I want to see that the new generation of artists can say that, yeah, I'm happy to stay here. I'm happy that I can come back home and be like, there's already a job waiting for me for when I wanted to, because
there's a career you can build here.
Exactly.
And there is. I definitely believe in the creative space. There is. We're seeing a lot more of it. Look at Jason Kennedy himself, right? As an example. And Carlos, whose last name I'm going to say wrong, so I'm not going to say the last name, but we know who Carlos is, right? Yeah. I remember when he used to work in, he was doing his art then too, but it was a small clothing shop. And that's how I had met him. And to now see how amazing he's doing, it is very possible. We're seeing a lot of it. So we got to wrap the show. So I just want you to let people know where they can find your artwork, and is it showcasing at all at Jason Kennedy's art shop as well? Okay, it is. Okay, great. So tell us where can we find you?
You guys can find me at Jason Kennedy's Art Gallery by Camana Bay, nearby, Starbucks. Can't really miss it. Yeah. And you guys can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm normally posting a lot of my art and my journey as an artist. It's douji.ky, so it's douji.ky. And somehow I'm on Facebook, which I didn't know that Instagram is connected to Facebook. So, it's easy to find me there. Just type in my name, Deandre Scott, boom, I'm right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been awesome to have a longer conversation with you because I feel like we could go deep into different subjects. And I really appreciate your openness here because we need to hear it. You know, a lot of people won't say, hey, I've been down and this helped kind of pull me through and this is how I did it and this is what this means to me and this is what it means for me to stick to something. I think that those are such important messages to share. And it's such a real life thing. We all go through it. So thank you for sharing.
And then the last thing I got to tell for anybody who's like wants to be an artist or is struggling at what they want to do in life, you got to remember, stop being a prisoner to your past. It was just a lesson, not a life sentence. Because all my life I just wanted to just be myself. Yet I realized that a lot of people are going to put you down. So never make them downgrade your belief that to match the reality, you know? You got to upgrade the belief to match the vision. So
yeah, don't go into their reality.
Exactly.
Live in yours.
That's university.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Everybody go check out his artwork. As he said, it is in Jason Kennedy's art gallery, which is in Camana Bay, kind of right beside Starbucks there. You cannot miss it. I've seen actually quite a few people post about you on Instagram as well from that art gallery. So it's pretty cool. I love to see it. You have so much ahead of you in your future. So keep sticking to what your desires are, what moves you forward. Keep sticking to that because so many times we stop listening to that voice. So keep listening to that voice. To everybody else out there, thanks for hanging out with us on The Buzz this morning. I'll be back with you next week. So have a great weekend ahead of you.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Cayman Enterprise City, Cayman's innovation hub. Discover your opportunity at enterprisecayman.ky. And Kirk Home Center, they've got a great deal in store for you.